Hey everybody, it is Liz with Liz Art Finds. We are here today with another haul video, and this was a fun one. Other than thrift stores this past week, I also got to go to the DC Big Flea yesterday, and I'm really excited to share about that. Yeah, it was a good week. It was a good week. So let's get into a couple announcements, what sold, and then all the cool things I picked up. So first announcement, I have a show scheduled over on Knickknacks for the 15th of March. It is a spring cleaning show, and it's with a group that is all vintage. So it's all my things that I haven't listed yet that are just sitting in boxes that I haven't figured out what category or where to list them or whatever, and so they're going to be in that show. So it's at 7:30 at night on March 15th over on knickknacks.net. So that's the announcement there, and then I will hopefully also be in the glass gallery at the beginning of April, and then paperweights will be in May. So I'm saving things for all those shows, and of course also in May we talked about my cat show, which I've been collecting things for. It's my annual. We did one at 6 months, but it's going to be my 1-year anniversary cat show. And then also possibly in either April or June, I haven't decided yet, I'm doing a birds show because I've been collecting birds too. Lots of shows coming up, as I promised you guys, starting in the spring. We'd start getting back out there and popping off and doing shows, and then obviously listing stuff again and still over on eBay. So let's talk about what sold. It was not as epic a week as last week. In fact, it was a pretty slow week. I did have some sales. I think my total profit for the week was right around $20. So they were very small sales, and it's, you know, they're cautionary tales. So let's go through them because there's some things that you can learn from my mistakes. So this is one of the first things that I bought a couple of years ago. I thought it was the most amazing thing. Apparently it's Pure One. It's a stretch vase. It is not Murano. It's a really pretty glass stretch vase from Pure One, but they don't have a huge resale value. So I paid too much for it. I bought it for $15. It sold for $20, so that was not worth it because it sat in my garage for probably 1.5 years or 2 years or something like that. So it was a sale. I did make $1.20 something with it, but definitely don't recommend. Unless, you know, if you can find this for $1 or $2, by all means buy it. It'll sell around $20. So just an FYI on that. I thought it was going to sell around $60. I was wrong. The other thing that sold over on eBay this week, another oopsie, was these sandals. Now, I thought they were beautiful. They're hand beaded African sandals. They were brand new. They were so pretty. I paid $6.99 for them, I believe, at a thrift store a couple of years ago. They sold for exactly that. They sold for $7. So I lost money on these, $1 or so. So cautionary tale, again, if you find them for $1, it might be worth flipping for $7, probably not. So that's just not a huge reseller, even though they're absolutely beautiful, just not big on the resale market. Now, the interesting thing this week is I started getting some traction over on Knickknacks. I don't tend to sell a ton of buy it nows, but I've been up there now for a year, almost a year in May. Well, no, I think I started listing things around now over on Knickknacks. I didn't go live until May, but I think I did have a presence there. So I started, like, little by little, things are starting to move. They're not high value things. They are things that are like $6, $8, you know, $9, something like that. So they're my very small knickknacks that are selling over on Knickknacks. So the first one was this pitcher. Now I did make money on this. I got this, it's actually it was a small, well, smaller than this picture makes it look, pitcher. I got this in an auction lot years ago, a couple of years ago, I guess. And it was only 75 cents that was allocated to it because it was part of a glass lot. It was a crackle pitcher, really nice quality, and it sold for $9. So that was great. You know, that was good. 75 cents into $9. Good flip. Then the next one was kind of a oops, another oops. A big oops in that somehow, and I still don't know how, I think I might know how, I had run something over on Knickknacks, and typically they go in a place that's not seen. And I must have in right around December decided to move it over to eBay. And it sold on eBay for $15.99. It was a little trinket box. And I forgot to delete it from Knickknacks. And so when I was going through my expired listings and making some of them live, I must have turned it back on again because somebody made an offer. Now the offer was only $8 and I'd already sold it for $15.99. I freaked because I couldn't find it. And then I did some hunting and I realized I'd already sold it. So I went to the customer, I messaged the customer. I'm like, hey, I'm going to need to decline your offer. I can't find the piece. However, or I might have told her it had already sold and somehow this duplicated it. I don't know. I honestly don't know exactly what happened. I'm just trying to figure out what I might have done. Anyway, I deleted the listing and I offered her, it was a Capodimonte, so I sent her pictures of all the other Capodimonte trinket boxes I had and things that I hadn't even listed yet and whatnot. And I'm like, hey, I'll match the price. So basically, I sold this trinket box for $6. Now I had paid $2.99 for it, so I did make a couple dollars on this one. And I have a happy customer, so thankfully that happened. And then she also purchased this trinket box. Now this one was one that I had listed at like $6 because I bought it for $1.99, got it home under the lights and the loop and realized that it had some cracks in it. And I think there were 3 structural cracks like in the base. You can't really see them, but when you get it under the light and under the loop, it was like, oops. So I had it at $6, she offered $4 and I accepted. So I had paid $1.99 for it, sold for $4, pretty much an even flip. I might have made 50 cents or something on that. But again, happy customer. And I moved some things along that weren't moving or were just sitting. I mean, the other one wasn't even listed yet. So, all in all, I'm happy with that transaction. But as, I'm giving you guys cautionary tales, if you're moving things from one place to the next and you're not allowed to list in multiple marketplaces because of where you're selling, make sure you don't have it in 2 places at once or that you don't turn something on that already sold and keep better track. I don't know how I missed that. I really don't know how I missed that. I've been really good at managing my inventory for the most part, and I missed that one. Finally, I had a sale yesterday, which was a great sale over on Knickknacks. I sold this little, he's little, oh my gosh, I can't remember the artist. I want to say Fagin, but it's a little tiny miniature cat. Little, but they're super collectible. And I got him in a baggie and I only paid 9 cents. 9, like one less than 10 cents for this guy, 9 cents. And he sold for $10. So this was a great sale over on Knickknacks. And this was, again, one of those baggies where it had a whole bunch of cats in it. So that I've already profited significantly from that bag. But so that was a good sale. But overall, because of a lot of the oopsies, my profit after taking out the cost of goods, my profit for the week was right around $20. So not the best week compared with last week, which was hundreds. But hey, you win some, you lose some, and sales are always good, right? So the other thing I wanted to show you before I get into the haul this week, I showed you guys this bracelet last week, and I said I was going to try to fix it. So I did get this piece of the laminate, like the abalone, mother of pearl, whatever it's called, the stuff that they make the jewelry out of. It's a slightly browner piece. I thought I bought a piece that was more on the blue side. They had different colors and I tried to pick the one that matched the best. But now I've cleaned out all of the old stuff out of here, and now I'm going to kind of stencil it. Like I'm going to take a tracing of that shape And I'm going to go buy a very sharp X-Acto knife, and I'm going to try to cut out a part of this that is the most similar to this piece and glue it in. So wish me luck. Maybe by next week I will have a report, and obviously I will disclose that it's been repaired, but fingers crossed I can actually repair it. And I mean, I have high hopes, but I've never done it before, and we'll see. All right, let's get into the haul because we have so much. And oh my gosh, the flea market was so much fun. Before that, last week after my video recording, I went out to Unique and I found 3 things. So the first thing I found was this house blessing. It's a Hamsa house blessing, and it is in Hebrew, which I have not translated yet, but I have found some others that basically are bless this house. You know, it's a blessing for the home that you would hang in your home. And what I love about this is it's under plexi, and it's got all of these stones like lapis and well, they're probably not like precious or semi-precious, but they're really cool stones. Like there's amethyst in here. This is probably colored stone. I don't think it's actually turquoise, but there's definitely amethyst. And there's some other really cool stones. I just thought it was beautiful. And I paid $3.99 for it. There's one exactly like it that just sold for $31.11. So $3.99 into 30 or even 29. I mean, that's good. So I was happy about that. Then I found another glass artist. I love finding these. So this is fused glass, but it's West Coast style, right? So it's cut, it's not powders. They actually cut the pieces of glass, and this is to simulate a hibiscus. So it's a couple different colors of glass kind of superimposed on the other. And then she's got some sort of almost like a glass paint as the top layer, and it's signed in the corner Kendra. And the artist, her name is Kendra Schneider, and she lives in Hawaii, and she is still a practicing artist. She's fairly young. I mean, she actually looks like she may be in her 40s or 50s, maybe late 30s even. I'm not really sure. But she's a fused glass artist creating large and small works of art on the Big Island of Hawaii. So let me show you her picture. This is Kendra Schneider. Okay. And she says she grew up in an artistic home where her mom designed greeting cards. She and her father, her mom and dad, created a small successful business selling greeting cards along the west coast of Hawaii. So I grew up in her studio watching her always create. They have since moved on to other ventures, but that experience inspired me to be creative, and then I've always had a regular practice of drawing and painting. I studied psychology at the University of Oregon, and transferred to University of Hawaii, where I graduated in 2000. So she's younger than I thought. So 2000, it's 24. So she would have, 40s, young 40s. I fell in love with the beauty of Hawaii and the people here and the aloha spirit of the islands. I worked as a property manager until 2013. Then my mother influenced me again and taught me how to do fused glass. I immediately fell in love with the art form because of the beautiful qualities of light and glass together. Making large pieces is a difficult but rewarding process. I buy the best glass from Bullseye in Oregon, which is more expensive but worth it, yada, yada, yada. I create custom pieces, which can be used in a variety of ways. So she does a lot of very large pieces. So this is probably her smallest piece. And this size sells new. Now she's not doing this colorway anymore. She's only doing like a dark blue and a red right now in this style, this pattern. And they sell for $48 new. So this size, this color and whatnot would probably sell in the 18 to 24 range. And I paid $2.39 for it. So beautiful piece. You know, it's another fused glass artist to add to the repertoire of things I'm learning. And I may reach out to her as well. I did reach out this past week to a couple of other artists and have not yet heard back. So hopefully soon we will have someone else to talk with on the channel. And let's see, the last piece I found there was another bowl, and this is a pottery bowl, similar to that bowl we found that was LaSalle, but this is signed PMM, and I cannot find the artist. So it's a beautiful, it's a hand wheel thrown bowl, and just beautiful design. And it's I'm just feeling that there might be a little bit of a chip in the glaze here. Oh, it's a bubble. It's just a bubble. So yeah, it's in perfect condition. There's one little glaze bubble there. But yeah, I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything by this artist. I paid $2.39 for it. I would call this an 18 to 24 on the resale. Maybe less. Maybe more, depends where I sell it, depends how I sell it, but beautiful, beautiful, one-of-a-kind piece, signed PMM. And hopefully at some point I can find other pieces by this artist and can get a better sense of value. But I think that's reasonable. I think 18 to 24 on that. Okay, so then on Tuesday I went back out. I found a few really fun things. This is a different store. So many things. I don't even know where to start. I'm going to start with this small Japanese dish. Now, this is a dim sum dish. It is made in Japan. The back is stamped, and it is all Japanese, so I don't know what it says. But it's got a bird on it. It's got some flowers, and these sell around 6 to 8. I mean, not a ton. I paid 99 cents for it. So it was still worth a pickup. It was so pretty. I didn't want it to get broken in the store, so I brought it home. So I picked that up. This one, it was like oh my gosh, when I saw it. This was so cool. So this is Yadro. Okay, now you've heard of them. They make all kinds of figurines that some of them sell really, really well. This is a Yadro piece. And this was for their collector society, and it's signed by all three brothers. And this was a plaque that went out to their Yadro Collector Society members. I'm not sure exactly when. The back is really fun. It's like a shell. You can see that fun pattern there. So it's got this fun shape, and it's this person. At some point I knew who it was, but I think it's Don Quixote, maybe, because I looked it up. Anywho, I was so excited. This is oh my gosh, a Yadro just sitting right here. Doesn't have a ton of resale value, but they are selling. I paid $1.99 for him, and they sell in the $20 to $24 range. Okay, so there's that guy. I found this egg. I still cannot for the life of me figure out what it's made of. There's similars online that say stone. This is not stone. It's some sort of a ceramic. It's not, it's a matte finish. It's almost like that Sculpey clay in texture. And it sits in the stand so strangely, like it's glued into the stand. And that thing is like pushing into it. And you can see that it's flat back there. I wish I knew more. And it's just beautifully painted. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a thing in the middle that goes up through. It looks like there might be because it's got this cap on it. It's not an actual egg, that's for sure. But I don't know like what exactly it's made out of. I paid $1.99 for this. And the solds on these are all over the place. There's 6s and 8s and 12s, and then there's 18s and 24s and 32s, right? So it's literally all over the place because I didn't see one that was exactly like this. So I just wrote down 12 to 24 because it could be anything. I think I may put this into that show that I have on March 15th because it's before Easter, and I'd love to get it seen before Easter. So I think I'm going to start it there. If it doesn't sell, I'll probably move it elsewhere. But anyway, there's this guy. Then I found this tile, and I had seen it the week before and had left it. I don't remember why I left it. It's signed on the side Artisme or Artisim. And the similars, it's like 3D and it's plaster, like what they call chalkware. So it's like plaster of Paris. So it's a very soft material. And they chip really easily. So there were a couple small chips on this, like tiny chips there, but they're so tiny, I decided to forgive it. I paid $1.99 for this. The similars are in the 25 to 40 range. There's only a couple that sold. So, I mean, maybe 18 to 24, but this will go on eBay and I may start it higher and just see what happens. So anyway, that was a fun little find for $1.99. Then I found this other ceramic piece. Okay, this is redware. This is actually made in Romania. It is a pulled feather ceramic bowl, and there is an actual art company that I didn't write down that made these, and they sell pretty well. I mean, there's a lot of solds. Like, that surprised me. I paid $2.99 for it. The solds are in the 18 to 30 range. So I would probably list this 24 to 28. I'd probably start it at 28 and then drop it if I needed to. So again, $2.99. Maybe I'll start it at 29, do a 10x on it. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, it's in really, really good condition. Romania pulled feather plate, ceramic plate. Then I picked this up, and this, I'm not sure it was a good pickup. I just thought it was really pretty. So it is a telephone wire woven basket, and these are typically made in Africa, and I'm seeing a lot that say South Africa. The problem is this one has a little bit of a stain here, like a green stain on the yellow, which was probably like blue pen or something that turned green because it's on yellow. I can't get it out. I've tried every single thing I can think of to remove that stain, and I have, as far as yet, been unsuccessful. So that is going to impact the value. Without that issue, the solds on this size are probably 12 to 18. Bigger ones can go for a lot of money, 40s to 70s, bigger baskets can sell for a lot of money. So again, keep your eye out for these, but look at trying to buy low. Now, I did get this for 99 cents, so it was still a good pickup, even if it sells for 18. I'm still happy with it. It's in great condition other than that little bit of staining on the inside. So hopefully someone out there will be able to forgive that. And then the last piece I picked up was just something I picked up because I'd never seen it before. It's this really fun centerpiece bowl that's all these stars with swirls. And it's like antique copper, and basically same on the inside as it is on the outside. So they're double-sided little star thingies. So really cool. When I looked it up, everything says Tobin James. What's really interesting, I don't know if Tobin James designed it. So there's a winery in California in Paso Robles. I didn't write it down. I think it's Paso Robles, California. It's called Tobin James, and their logo is basically this star. It's kind of this asymmetrical star with a swirl in the center. So basically this is a basket full of Tobin James logos. So I don't know if the winery commissioned this piece and then sold it, or if someone that was reselling was like, oh, that's the Tobin James logo, let's call it a Tobin James basket. And then of course everybody copies the listings when they list theirs. So I'm really not sure of the history of it. I don't think it's that old, but it's definitely, I would say at least 15, 20 years old maybe. It's really cool. And I don't know, I just liked it. So I paid $3.99 for it. The solds are 18 to 22, and there are a significant number of solds. There is one listed right now for $15.99, but there's also one listed for $18.99 and $21.99. So there are the solds. 18 to 22, I think reasonable on that piece. So that was a fun little stop. I was pretty excited about that. And then I had one more stop that day. I went over to Savers, and I found some different things different than what I normally pick up, and a couple same that I always pick up. I'm going to start with the different, because these are really different. I got this, and it's heavy. I got this, oh my gosh, this vintage woodpecker door knocker. Okay, sorry, I probably should have warned you first. It's really cool. So it's got this antique kind of look, and all of them out there have this same look. At first I thought it was just from age. I don't know. One that sold is even worse. Like, it's less white and more like this like base metal kind of finish, this brown kind of thing. Now this does seem to have a little bit of a chipping of the paint right here, but the rest of it, it's in really, really good condition compared to what I saw the solds looked like. So I paid $3.99. No, I paid $4, sorry, $4.89 for him. The solds are high. The solds, there's two solds, one at $42 and one at $53.60. And there's two listed right now at $55 and $65. Okay, so if I list him around $52, he should sell. Again, I paid $4.89 for $4.89. So that's, you know, that's a great pickup. If it sells around 48 or so, that's a 10 times the money situation. So great pickup. Not pretty to look at, but there's high sell-throughs on it. The sell-throughs look good, and it's cool. It's cast iron, and it's cool. It's cool conceptually. It's just cool, right? So I picked that up. And in the same vein, now this one's really heavy, so give me a minute. Oh, Lord. I got this iron. What I love about this is it still has some of its original paint, okay? Now, I think this was a doorstop. It sits perfectly like this. It also could be used, it's flat on the bottom. It could actually be used to heat up and press clothing. It does have a marking, says C7 on it. There is one just like this that sold. However, it did not have the painting on it anymore. So the sold on it was like 18 for this exact one. I paid, I paid up. I paid $5.59 for it. I think this could go as high as 24 with the painting and maybe even a little bit more. I'm going to call it 18 to 24 because, I mean, it's pretty rare to still have that amount of painting visible. And I think if you look at sold, you'll just find the plain cast iron without the paint. So I thought this was a good pickup. I'll probably only make $10 on it, but just fun to preserve a piece of history. I need to learn more about it, but it was a fun little pickup. So I got that. Okay. Oof. And I got two more things. I picked up this vase, probably not a huge reseller. This was Lenox, and it's the Nature's Splendor pattern, and it's hand painted, and the artist is PKP at the bottom there. So these do sell. They don't sell super high. So I paid $5.24 for this guy. The solds are around 25, and I put a couple less. So let's call it 18 to 24, 18 to 25 on this guy. And I put $5.24 into it. So I should be able to get $10 profit out of it-ish. And it was too pretty to leave in the store. I mean, look at the painting on some of these things. It's just so well done, especially that red flower there. So I just thought it was adorable, and it deserved to come home with me. So we picked that up. And then I found another Mayan mask, and I've done really well with these. This is a larger one. My larger one sold, I think, for $65, the last one I had. The smaller one sold probably $48. I'm not remembering exactly, but they both sold. So when I saw this, obviously I had to pick it up. I paid up. I paid $10.49 for this guy, but I know that they sell, and I know I've been doing, like, they've sold well for me. So the solds on these, I want to call it 35 to 65, most around 50 for this size. Some are more, you know, you'll see a 65, a 70. Those tend to be, the higher ones are more intricate in the carvings, and these very colorful ones are newer. I think, could be wrong, but I think some of these are not as old as some of the other ones I've seen. But I still think 50 is a reasonable amount for this, so it was worth to me to pay the $10 and change. I think once I get it listed on eBay, it should sell in the next few months. Yeah, I think that'll do well. And I think that's all before we get to the DC Big Flea. So we're 30 minutes in. I haven't even talked about the DC Big Flea. I'm going to go through it kind of quick. My favorite part of the DC Big Flea was I met Kate from FollowThatBug Vintage. She has a YouTube channel. I'm going to put this all in the description. She also sells over on a site called Whatnot, which is a different site than Knickknacks, but it's similar in some ways. It does live auctions. And Kate is going to be selling all the things she found at the DC Big Flea, I believe tomorrow, Monday, the 3rd of March. And I think it's at 5 o'clock, but you'll have to check over on Whatnot and just look for FollowThatBug Vintage. She's great. I've been following her since the pandemic, and I learn a lot. I mean, she's got a different niche than I do. Like a lot of the people I follow, they specialize in different things. And she is someone that has been thrifting since she was a kid. Her mom was a thrifter. And so she just has an eye for the older things and the more unique things, and she picks just really fun things. So anyway, it was so much fun. I didn't spend a lot of time with her, but I did get to meet her. I did get to show her a couple of my finds, and it was just really fun. So anyway, let's look at what I found. Now, I'm going to preface this with, I didn't go in there to make a ton of money. I went there for the experience and to find some things for my various upcoming shows, with the intention of maybe being able to double my money at the end. It was not trying to find those amazing things that are going to make $1 million, because these are vendors who know what they have. Their pieces are curated. And in some cases, people were just trying to get rid of things, but in most cases, you know, even when you negotiate, right? Because you always ask, it's another thing at these flea markets, what's your best price, right? And see what you can negotiate. But even then, some of these things were really close to retail. But let's get into it, because I found some fun things. The first thing I picked up, and this one, I'm not going to make any money on unless someone has a heart response to it like I did. This is a gourd. I love picking up gourds, you know that. This is an owl and her owlet, and it's just the whole piece is an owl. And then they put a little piece of wood on there to be the beak, and it's a rattle. It's just so good. So I paid $10. They had it marked 12. I asked up for best price. I got it for 10. It's just good. It's probably worth 8 to 12. It is not worth a whole lot more than that unless someone, like I said, has a heart reaction to it and has to have it. I had to have it. It was so good. So that was a fun pickup. That was my first pickup. Then I went over to the back and I found a couple of, I found a yard sale table basically, and I found a couple of cats for my cat show. So I got this one for $3, and this is made in Japan. It's got a sticker on it. It's probably not going to focus. It's a little guy. He's got that little smirk. He's really cute. Little porcelain cat. And then I found this guy, and I got him for $2, and it says Lynn 1988. I have not been able to find anything else by this artist or company yet. The lady who sold it seemed to think it was also from Japan, but I'm not sure. It just says Lynn 1988. So it may be a US thing. It may have been something sold at Hallmark. I really just don't know. So I got these two for $5. And that was fun. It was a fun little pickup for my cats. Okay, and the value on those, they're probably each worth about 6 to 10. Like they're probably not worth a ton. Let me see what I wrote down here because I've got this all out of order. My cats, yeah, 6 to 12 on both of those. Okay, and now I'm just going to go out of order and just pick up things. I found this little scramble paperweight. Let's see if we can get my light to not shine on it. So it's a fun little scramble paperweight, right? I mean, it's not worth a ton. It's not like the clearest. It's got a little color to it, like it's not crystal clear. The bottom is a little bit on the cloudy side. So I don't think this is anything special, but it was only $5. And I can sell these little paperweights at the paperweight show. They typically go in the 8 to 12 range. So it was worth a pickup for $5. And the lady selling it was really cute. So a lot of the vendors were older than me, which was surprising to me. I mean, I guess it shouldn't be surprising, but it was surprising. Like there were a lot of people there that were a lot older than I am, which I don't know, I guess I wasn't really expecting. Okay, then I got my Leo Ward Bluebird of Happiness. Is this the first one I've ever had? No, this is the third, and we've talked about Leo Ward before, so we're not gonna talk about that again. This one actually, in addition to the signature, it says Leo Ward 1997. It's also got a sticker on it. So this is the first one I've had that still had its sticker. It says Bluebird of Happiness, made in the USA, Terra Studios, Terra Studios, and it has a phone number. Now we know they went out of business and he is no longer with us, but Leo Ward was the artist, started in the state of Arkansas. And I think we just talked about this a couple weeks ago because I think I had found one at the thrift. So I picked him up. I got it for $6. You know, I negotiated a deal, so I got it for $6. They typically sell 8 to 12-ish. Some go more, but I wrote down 12 to 15 actually, but it just depends on who's in the show that particular day. But yeah, I like them. They make me smile, so I couldn't leave that there. Then, now this is a first for me, I got on the micromosaic bandwagon. These little Italian mosaic pins. I picked up a couple of them, one that's not really worth much and one that is worth more. So I got this. This is the one that spoke to me. It was a little like a lute, a guitar, mandolin. It's got the pin on the back. I paid $10. I mean, I did negotiate to get the $10. I spent $10 each, so I spent $20 on 2 pins. This one is probably only worth 8 to 12. It may sell for more in an auction. That one will go in my, when I do the glass show, if I can get in, April 5th and 6th. I have some high-end glass, and I think I'm going to include my 2 micromosaics in that. And this is the second one. These sell for more, a little bit more. It's got a little more detail to it. It's got a big flower in the middle, and there's some little flowers around it. And these guys, I want to say 24 to 30 on these, maybe less, maybe more. It's really hard to know, but with the 2 of them, I paid 20, and I should probably, between the 2, get at least 30 or 40, maybe more. I would hope I can double my money on these, and we'll see, And I am going way over, so I want to go fast here. I picked up, I'm going to save my 2 best for last here. Got 2 more before those. So I picked up another couple random cats. So I got this guy. He's just this camo cat. He's lightweight. He's not even heavy enough to be a door stopper, so I'm not really sure what his purpose is other than decorative camo cat. I paid $2 for him, and he's just unique, right? So he'll be in my cat sale. That'll be in May. I don't have it scheduled yet. And then this cat, he's painted canvas. There are some similars out there that have, like, you can tell they're the same series, that have like the same cat, like riding a bike or whatever. And I paid $3 for him, and I'm going to call it 8 to 12. The one that I saw that was similar sold for $11.99. So I got those two. Okay, now my best. I'm going to start with the cute best and then go to the glass best. Oh wait, I didn't show you this one yet. 3 more. This one was actually a mistake, okay? So I paid $40 for it. It was marked 45. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it could possibly be Murano. It's beautiful, clear, polished bottom. It may still be, but underneath the sticker, they had a sticker on it, there's a ding. And I've been trying to get it polished out. Let's see if I can find it. I have not been successful at completely getting it polished out. It looks like somebody dropped it. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it, guys. Oh, here it is. Oh. It is kind of the surface. It's a little horseshoe thing. And if you look at it from the side and look into the casing, it is surface. So I may be able to polish it out. It's right there. Looks like a fingernail, like right there, but you can feel it. So it will require a lot of work with the hand polish. And I don't know how successful I'll be. I did get a couple surface scratches out of it already. So I don't know. It's probably not worth more than I paid. I paid $40. It's probably worth $40 to $45 max. And with that blemish, it might be less. If I can get it out, it might be more if I find out, in fact, that it is Murano. If it is not Murano, it's really not worth more than I paid. So that one was, you know, if I had to do it over again, would I have picked that up? No, I probably would have left it. There's also some little flea bites, you know, on the edges of the base. So that probably wasn't the best pickup. Okay, now my 2 best ones. This is probably one of the best. This is an old cat tin. It says good luck. The company is George Horner. It's made in England. It was for candy. It still has some of the original candy label on it right there that says, I can see oats and I can see sugar and I can see almond. I'm going to close it because I'm allergic to whatever's in there. Hang on one sec. So it's just cute. All right, and then the last piece. Actually, that cat tin, I do have to tell you the value. I paid $10 for it. 3 of them sold recently for $34.99, okay, on eBay. I'm debating whether to hold it for my cat show or whether to try to sell it over on eBay. So I think what I might do if I put it in my cat show is start it at a really high price, like start it, I don't know, around 20 or 24. Yeah, ish. And see if anybody's interested. Or I may list it on eBay before my cat show. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with that. And now my favorite piece, and I'm actually thinking of going back there later this afternoon because they are still open. This is a Mats Jonasson flower piece. Okay, and he is Swedish. This is Swedish glass. It is signed MJ Sweden, and it has the item number on it. So I have not seen any of these blue flag, wow, it's really reflecting me, any of these blue flag iris pieces. There we go. I haven't seen any of these blue flag iris pieces that have sold. However, there's a purple version. It's basically 1 item number higher, and 3 of those have sold. And they've sold high. So let me see if I can find it here. So they've sold, there was a 48, a 63, and an 80, $79.99. So I paid $30 for it, but it should easily sell for 60 or more. And this one will probably go in my high-end glass show, glass gallery. I don't think it's heavy enough to be a paperweight, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm thinking about going back and getting a couple more because they're beautiful. I got it home and I'm like, that glass is so clear, just so beautiful. So it's hard to get this in the camera and have it actually photograph well, but it's amazingly beautiful, and I love his work. I've had other things of his before. This is Mats Jonasson. He is still alive in Sweden. He was born in 1945, And he started work as an apprentice engraver in the glassworks in 1959. So he was, 14 years old, which is amazing. Over the next few decades, he worked with many of the most respected contemporary glass artists in Sweden, and he developed his own personal style. And there's a quote by him. It says, "Our forests have captured the hearts and minds of people since time immemorial. Inspired by the," and that was the end of the quote, "inspired by the natural world around him, he's opened his mind to create his distinctive masterpieces in the finest say that 10 times fast, finest Swedish crystal." Anywho, I've seen animal pieces by him. I've never seen the flower series. They're beautiful. And I think that's my favorite piece. And I'm so tempted to keep it, which is part of why I want to go back and try to see if I can buy more if she still has any left. All right, we are way over on time, guys. Have a fantastic week. This was a fun one. I look forward to seeing you next week with some more amazing finds. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye.